Hi, I'm Sandi Genovese, and if you look at the table in front of me, you can see a whole, you know what, I don't know what a group of butterflies are called, but I know that when they're grouped all together, they look great. Look at how fun these look. We're going to see how easy it is to make these dimensional butterflies, and I'll just take this one. This is the one that we'll make. You can see that the front I've decorated with a white pen and with just paper layering, and when you turn it over and look at the back, I've used stickers to spell out the names, because these could be place cards, like for a dinner party or a birthday party. If you don't want place cards, they could be decoration all down the middle of a table. And if you want to make it a card for a friend, you could do a larger butterfly. It can close up. You can write your greeting or your message that you would normally put on the card on the back of the butterfly and put it in the mail to a friend. First, we need to see how to make it. What I did is I started by cutting out 2 butterflies that match, and they're out of just 2 different shades of pink. I'm going to decorate one by cutting an additional butterfly out of red and taking just the middle section, trimming it off so that I can layer it right on top. So I'm going to put my adhesive on the back. And you want to make sure you have good solid adhesive, because you're going to go back and be trimming slits on the top and the bottom, and you don't know if it might hit, if part of the slit might hit this. You don't want a little piece that didn't have glue on it to fall off once you trim and put a cut in there. So line it up and add that embellishment to one. You could do a lot more. You can go crazy if you want, but this is a quick and easy way to decorate. For the other one, I just took a white pen, and all I did, I usually started someplace where I could tell where my line was straight. So for my vertical lines, if I start down the middle of the butterfly, I know I'm starting with lines that are straight. And I'm just doing, I don't want a ruler because I want it to look random and not perfect. But certainly you could do a ruler if you wanted to. And you're just going to keep going and adding the decoration of the first row of stripes going vertically. And I'm going to stop in a minute here, and even though I'm not all the way done with the shape, and we'll look at lines going the other direction. You can see it's really pretty fast. I love these whimsical pens. They really are, I would say, my new best friend, but they're not new, but boy, are they my best friends. You would keep going and decorate the whole thing. Then you want to go back the other direction. And once again, I find some place where, in this case, I can tell this is going to be pretty straight. That's going to be my guideline to start with. And then in this case, I'll start by going down, and I'm just creating sort of a grid pattern. I've actually purchased patterned paper that has a grid design on it that looks a lot like this. And I was surprised to find out how easy it is to make it yourself. And boy, it's a whole lot less expensive to buy solid colored paper and add the pattern yourself. I won't stop right now to do the whole thing, but you would just continue decorating until you have the whole thing. If I pull this apart, you'll see what I mean. So see, that is going to become something that looks like this. And we've got both of these. Notice that the bottoms of the butterfly are trimmed off. In order for it to stand up, you can see that the tip of the butterfly, the body, is really going to be a problem. So you want to take a ruler and lay it down. And when the ruler is flush with both of the wings, when you have it flush with this wing and this wing, that's when you know that where you want to draw your pencil line. And you can see I've already got that. I'm going to trim the bottom off of both butterflies, so I'm going to stack them together and make sure they're perfectly stacked together, and then just trim them both at one time. Now, in order for them to interlock, you have to have slits that go down the center. So the next thing is to lay down your ruler, and from the exact middle, to draw your pencil line, and you can see I've already done that right down the middle of both of the butterflies. Once you have those, then you have to only cut halfway on each of them. So I think it's easiest, especially if you're going to do it like for a party and you want a whole bunch of these, to take an extra butterfly, use it as a pattern, and lay it down. And this is my guide to know roughly the halfway point. So if I say, all right, when this is laid down here, I'm going to mark with pencil. That's halfway. And if I do the same thing on this one, mark halfway. So I need to decide I'm going to go halfway down from the top on one and halfway up from the bottom on the other one. Doesn't really matter which. So I'll take this one and I'm going to cut right along my pencil line. I'm going to go just a fraction, I mean like a 32nd of an inch past my pencil line. And because I don't want it to want to spring closed, I'm going to cut the little narrowest of slivers. You'll see how tiny this little sliver is that I'm cutting out. So I'm cutting right next to it. If I was using really thick paper, super thick, I could cut a bigger slit. But when I pull this off, you can see it's just the tiniest little slit. And see how it just goes just a hair past the halfway point. That means this time I'm going to cut up from the bottom on this one. So I will cut along my pencil line, and when I get to that mark, just once again, maybe a very 32nd past it, and then the tiniest, skinniest little slivers next to it. So there, when I pull that out, I really probably shouldn't have taken quite that much, but it will still work. So when you have the slits, that action of having a slit on either end is what will make these interlock so perfectly. So when I slide them together, you can see how quickly and easily you've created this place card or party favor or party decoration. If it's going to be a place card, you want to label it. So if you look at the back of mine, you can see that I took a sticker sheet and I used the sticker sheet in order to write my name. Let's go ahead. This is these are letters that are black. I also did some with letters that are white. So let me take this and I'll show you. It's best, I'll put Sam. So in order to do a short 3-letter word, what I'm going to do, and I want the inside of that A to come out, so I need to get it to stick. I'm going to start with the middle letter and place the middle letter first. And I want to place it in such a way that I make sure that I have room for the M that's going to go next to it. So there's the A, and then I'll take the M, at this point it doesn't matter if I do the M next or the S to write out Sam. Now, if you have people attending a party, and they're not all going to have short names, I mean, that could be your how you decide who you're inviting, but I'm kidding. What you could do is do their initials or make up a new nickname for them. That might be kind of a fun thing to do. But you can see how you end up creating the lettering that will create however you want to label the back side of your butterflies. So if I go back and stick this guy back here, and once again, you see this whole table, you know, whether you need place cards for a dinner party or a card for a friend, this interlocking technique, it makes assembly quick and easy. Remember, I love hearing your comments. Be sure to share us with your scrapbooking and your crafting friends. You can always like us with a thumbs up on Facebook. Don't forget to sign up for these free weekly videos. However, if you want access to hundreds of past videos, or you want to be able to print a color instruction sheet, then you might want to consider joining the Gold Club. Bye for now.